Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on KREM News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we begin with this coming in new at noon. The man accused of shooting and killing a 13-year-old boy in Spokane has pleaded not guilty to the crime. Glenn Berkey appeared for his arraignment about an hour ago, hour and a half. He faces 5 charges, including first and second-degree murder, along with drive-by shooting for killing 13-year-old Gavin Looper.
What is your plea to count 1, murder in the first degree?
Not guilty.
Count 2, murder in the second degree.
Not guilty.
Count 3, drive-by shooting.
Not guilty.
Count 4, second-degree assault.
Not guilty.
And count 5, first-degree unlawful possession of a firearm.
Not guilty.
Okay, so as you heard there, Berkey pleaded not guilty to all 5 of those charges. Back in January, Looper was at a family friend's home playing video games when a bullet fired outside the home came in and struck him and killed him. Police said evidence shows Berkey fired 5 shots into the home. Police tracked him to Montana, where he was arrested and brought back to Spokane. Today, a judge set a trial date coming up for April 12th. All right. It is coming up on just about 2 minutes after noon right now, so let's turn our attention to the weather. Boy, it's been a little bit of everything out there.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful sunshine weekend to snowfall this morning, a little bit of rain.
This is called Washington Spring, where we don't know what to dress for. We don't know what sweater to wear or whatever it is. If we can wear tights or a dress, what is it? Well, right now it's 39 degrees outside and sunshine, and we're looking at Coeur d'Alene right now. A couple hours ago, it was actually a mixed snow rain, so that was kind of our precedent today. As we continue through today and tomorrow, it should be partly cloudy, partly sun, and then we actually see more rain coming into the region later tomorrow night. And then Thursday through next Monday, we're going to see pretty much rain with a mix of rain snow. Temperatures outside right now, 39 in Spokane, 40 in Colville, and down south of us, 46 in Lewiston. We're going to see a high of between 40 and 50 today, again with those partly cloudy skies, but we will be seeing that rain tomorrow. So let's take a look at that really fast. We're going to be getting a storm coming in from the Pacific Ocean, and that's when we're going to see that rain come into the Spokane region. And then in the higher areas, we're going to have that mixed rain snow. So we got to be prepared. Rain jackets, unfortunately, will be coming out tomorrow night through the rest of the week.
Regan, thank you. It is 12:03. Taking a look at some national news. A White House spokesperson said President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke on the phone this morning. The call comes as the U.S. tries to negotiate a ceasefire deal between Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine has agreed to a 30-day ceasefire proposal, but as Natalie Brand is reporting, Russia has said terms still need to be discussed.
Ahead of the high-stakes call, President Trump expressed optimism over negotiations to end Russia's war on Ukraine.
We're trying to get a peace agreement done. We want to get a ceasefire and then a peace agreement.
President Trump said Ukraine's land and power plants will likely be part of the discussions with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Russian forces are occupying around 20% of Ukraine and seized the Zaporizhzhia power plant in 2022, Europe's largest nuclear site, which has been caught in the crossfire. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited a military cemetery in Lviv Tuesday to pay his respects to soldiers killed during Russia's invasion. Ukraine is skeptical that Putin is ready for peace, but hopeful for a breakthrough after 3 years of fighting.
Of course, there's no trust, but politics is politics. Every war comes with negotiations, so if we need to sit at the table, so that's what we should do.
Here in Washington, a legal battle is escalating over deportation flights and the use of a 1798 wartime law allowing the president to detain and deport non-citizens. A federal judge is demanding answers today about whether the administration violated his order over the weekend by sending planes with more than 200 migrants to El Salvador, many alleged gang members. A Justice Department attorney argued that they were not bound by the order since it wasn't in writing. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
In the next few hours, we should get a better idea of how much of the deficit Washington state lawmakers are facing. This afternoon, Washington's Economic and Revenue Forecast Council will share its latest forecast. coming as lawmakers are looking at ways to balance the state budget. Right now, Washington faces a multi-billion-dollar deficit. Some Democratic lawmakers are looking at cuts and raising new taxes. Governor Ferguson says he wants taxes to be a last resort and has proposed cuts to programs like child care and college funding. Democratic leaders are expected to release their first budget proposal sometime next week. Also right now, Eastern Washington Congressman Michael Baumgartner is one of the few Republican lawmakers that is holding town halls. Yesterday, in fact, he attended two events, one in Ritzville and one in Spokane. So this is video sent to KREM 2 of the town hall in Ritzville. It was the congressman's 7th town hall, but the first one since the Trump administration began taking sweeping action across the federal landscape. Baumgartner is still holding public discussions, unlike some of his party colleagues.
You know, we want to do them. I think everybody wants to do them. Sometimes some of the protests get so angry and so rude that folks aren't able to do them safely. I worry a lot about the partisan divide in America and how angry folks are getting.
Baumgartner says some of the critiques he hears are legitimate, but says most of it is, quote, people playing politics. Last night, Congressman Baumgartner also held another town hall. As we said, there were two, this time at Whitworth University. Many at the town hall opposed his support for President Donald Trump and voiced their concern. As KREM 2's Connor McAvoy reports, one student says it was not productive.
It was a crowd of booing at Monday night's town hall. Congressman Baumgartner says that was expected.
You know, obviously there are a lot of interruptions, a lot of rude behavior, and you know, I knew I'd be walking into a room with about 99% of the folks that hadn't voted for me.
Many at the town hall voiced their disagreement towards his support of the Trump administration, which has supported cutting Medicare, Medicaid, and dismantling the Department of Education. In addition, President Trump has made repeated claims for expanding U.S. control of the Panama Canal and Greenland.
If we could get Greenland peacefully, I'm all for it, and we should have never given up Panama.
Attendees asked their questions. However, many felt their answers were unresolved due to the crowd's response. Fifth-year Whitworth student Molly Hansen asked the congressman about his support for a bipartisan bill known as the Protect Our Probationary Employees Act, aiming to assist federal workers who were laid off in the Trump administration. She says he didn't answer the question, and the crowd didn't help.
I felt like because he had so many questions that were an attack at him earlier, people who had a lot of concerns, they're all valid. He was expecting a question from me that was another attack.
Hansen says Monday's town hall showed there needs to be a compromise in how they're conducted.
I was worried that during my own question even, that they were going to respond poorly to it because I was in support of something that he had done in the past.
She says going forward, she hopes town halls are done civilly.
And there might be 1,000 steps before we actually do anything productive. But doing nothing is the worst thing we could do.
And KREM 2 did ask the congressman if his next town hall would be in person after last night's meetings. He said it is possible his next one will be done over the phone. All right, well, KREM 2 is your tournament central. The Gonzaga men's basketball team made the NCAA tournament as an 8 seed after winning the WCC championship. They will play 9 seed Georgia in Wichita, Kansas coming up on Thursday. Tip-off is at 1:35, and that is on TBS. And KREM 2, by the way, will be in Wichita for all the action. KREM 2 Sports Director Andrew Quinn and our very own Chief Journalist Amanda Rowley. They are hitting the road with the Zags. They will have reports from Wichita starting tonight. Lots of fun. March Madness is also your time to shine. Right now, you can compete in the Northern Quest March Bracket Challenge. We love this. The contest is open right now on KREM.com through this Thursday at 9 a.m. So it is countdown time, people. You got to get those brackets in. If your bracket does better than KREM 2 Sports Director Andrew Quinn's, then you could win pizza from Papa Murphy's. And the person with the first place locally wins a prize package from Northern Quest.